Hey guys, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through a yoga flow that you can do after a leg workout. This can be done directly after doing weight training for lower body, or you could do this on a recovery day. So for those of you who do weight training, it is a great form of exercise, but it's also important to take the time to work on both mobility and flexibility of the body as well, and yoga is a really great way to do this. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to start today's practice on all fours. Okay, so on all fours, you're gonna have your hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly under your hips, and we're just gonna move through some cat-cows to start. So you're gonna drop your belly down, look up, and then arch your upper back up, moving into cat. Drop the belly down for cow, arch up for cat. A few more with the breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, come back to neutral. Breathe. You're going to bring your toes together. Place your knees a little bit wider so they're kind of going toward the outside edges of your mat. Sit your hips back, reach your hands forward for child's pose, balasana. Rest your forehead on the earth. Breathe here. Really reach through your fingertips and draw your shoulders down and back. And then we're going to take a side stretch in this pose, so walk your hands over to the right, keeping your lower body where it is, and relax your forehead down on the earth here, feeling the stretch along the left side body. This is really nice too if you do a lot of training with like a bar, holding the bar. Sometimes then the lats and the back feel tight, so it's nice to stretch it out. Really sink into that left hip, so that left hip's really sinking down and you're stretching through the left fingertips. And walk your hands over to the left. Pull through the right fingertips, drop that right hip down, relax your forehead on the earth, stretching into the right side body, and breathe. And slowly walk your hands back to center. One breath in the center. And come back to all fours. Tuck your toes underneath you. Send your hips up to the sky for downward dog. And here, find some movement in downward dog, pressing through one heel and bending the opposite knee. So working one heel to the floor. Just walking it out, and go ahead and do this at your own pace. Finding some movement in the ankle joints, stretching through the calves. And everyone find stillness in downward dog, so both heels are going to go down to the earth. Press your hips up to the sky. So you want to be in a nice triangle shape, so your hips are going up to the sky. So if you need to bend your knees to do that, go ahead. If you can straighten your knees and keep the hips up this way, then you can do that as well. And you want to keep your back flat. And breathe. Bring your left foot in a little bit closer to the right so it's in the center line. Step the right foot forward between your hands. Drop the back left knee down. Untuck the left toes and lift yourself up into low lunge. Arms go up to the sky. Breathe here. So in the first stage of this low lunge, You want to be lifted, so I don't want you sinking into the hips, okay? So you're lifted here, drop your tailbone down and reach the fingertips up. Breathe. You can even interlace your fingers together and really reach up that way. Get a little extra stretch. And go ahead and place your hands on your hips, and if you would like, you can now sink a little bit more into the hips, so sinking forward a little bit, but still think about dropping that tailbone down. Breathe. Working into stretching those hip flexors, working on hip extension mobility. One more breath. Place your hands down to border your right foot. Straighten through that right knee for half split pose. So you can either be up tall, sitting up this way, that might be enough of a stretch for you, or you can place the hands to border that right leg, leaning forward, breathe here. So what I want you to do is think about really keeping that right heel grounded on the earth. So the right heel's not gonna move, but you're thinking about kind of drawing that right leg back, and that'll really stretch through the hamstring nice. Try to keep your back flat as you lean forward. One more breath. Go ahead and bend that right knee back into a low lunge. Tuck your back toes underneath you, coming up into a runner's lunge. One breath here. And then step that left knee in, so it's gonna go behind the right leg, and you're gonna sit down into a seated twist. So your left leg is bent, your right leg is gonna be crossed over. Try to get both sit bones on the earth so that you're even here. Place your right hand behind you, reach through those left fingertips, and then hug that right knee. So hug that right knee in and twist to the right and breathe. Keeping the spine nice and tall. So on your inhales, try to find length, and then on your exhales, you could twist a little bit deeper. Keeping length in the spine through the whole pose. One more breath. Go ahead and gently unravel. Take a little mini counter twist to the left. And then place your hands. Step yourself back up into a runner's lunge, and then step back into downward dog. One breath here. Bring the right foot in a little bit to the center line, step the left foot forward, drop the back knee down, untuck the back toes, and lift yourself up into low lunge. So in your low lunge, you want to make sure that, again, you're staying high for the first one and dropping that tailbone down, okay? Reach the fingertips up to the sky, and you can do that interlace with the fingers to really extend and breathe. Go ahead and place your hands on your hips, and if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and sink into those hips a little bit more, still keeping that tailbone dropping down. Breathe into the right hip. Place the hands down to border the left foot. Straighten that left leg. Again, you could either be up tall and breathing into the left hamstring this way, or you could place the hands down to border the left leg and breathe here. Again, what I find works really well, so that you don't have to lean forward as much to get the stretch, because you want to make sure you're keeping the back flat, is if you really keep that left heel grounded, but you're thinking about pulling that left hip back in space, it kind of like tractions through the hamstring. It feels really nice. One more breath. Come back into low lunge, tuck under your back toes, lift that back knee, one breath in runner's lunge. And step that right leg in and sit down for a seated twist. So you're sitting with the right leg bent, left leg is crossed over. Get your sit bones even on the earth, so you might need to adjust a little bit. Bring the left hand behind you, reach the right arm up to the sky, really reach. And then hug in, so you're kind of like hooking your elbow around that knee, hugging that leg, twisting to the left, and breathe. Again, on your inhales, find length. On your exhales, you can go a little deeper into the twist. And move only as far as it feels good for you and your body. Two more breaths. Go ahead and unravel and take a really mini counter twist to the right. Place the hands to border that left foot. Step yourself back into runner's lunge and then back into downward dog. Breathe here. Go ahead and drop your knees down to the earth and lower yourself onto your stomach, slow and controlled. And then prop up onto your elbows for Sphinx pose. So you're gonna press through the elbows so your palms are facing down toward the earth. And breathe. So when you're in this pose, what you're thinking about is really pressing through the elbows to keep your shoulders down away from your ears. And then your arms aren't moving, but you're thinking about drawing your heart through, so drawing your shoulders down and back to really open through the chest. And your lower body stays relaxed. Go ahead and lower yourself down. You can either go up into Sphinx pose again, or you can move into full Cobra. So either go ahead and go into Sphinx pose again, or for Cobra, place your hands underneath your shoulders. Start to straighten through your elbows, lifting the upper body up. The lower body again stays relaxed, and breathe. In this pose, think about keeping those shoulders down away from your ears because they're going to want to pop up. One more breath. Go ahead and lower yourself down. Press yourself back to all fours. Cross your feet behind you, and you're gonna sit back and then move into Baddha Konasana. So it's like a butterfly stretch. You're gonna bring the soles of your feet together. So first, just hold onto your feet and open through the chest, sitting up nice and tall. One breath here. And then if it feels good for you, you can place your right hand on the right thigh, left hand on the earth, and really gently press through that right hip. Really, really gentle though here. And then switch sides, right hand on the earth, left hand on the left leg. And then coming back to center, holding on to those ankles again, drawing the chest open. One breath here. And then go ahead and come into a cross-legged seated position. Bring your hands into prayer at your heart. If you have time to take a Shavasana, I highly suggest it. If you would like to end your practice with me here, Go ahead and we'll take one more breath together. So nice deep inhale. And exhale, let it go. And come back to your comfortable breath. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you guys for practicing with me today. For those of you who do mostly weight training and don't do a lot of yoga, I hope this practice inspired you to add a little bit more yoga into your life. I personally do both weight training and yoga as my fitness routine, so I kind of combine the two and it works really well, and I think it's a really great way to kind of cover all the bases that you need to keep your body happy and healthy. If you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button right below me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.